We are back. We had to let the seam sealer cure. We had to wash the entire engine bay out, get all the grease and gunk off of this thing. My GoPro didn't record. Whatever, it's fine. But I did sand the entire engine bay down. I'm gonna show you here in a minute what it actually looks like. But everything is sanded down. I am actually gonna go over it again, but I wanted to get the epoxy primer down to kind of give me a rough idea of what I'm gonna have to fix. But we do have the epoxy primer down, and we're gonna show you right now what it looks like. As of right now, seam sealer, everything's squared away. We're gonna do a little touching up, but that's about it. So here it is. Got a good coat of epoxy primer down. So it don't look too bad. I am gonna touch it up a little bit, but for the most part, it does not look bad at all. I know some spots are kind of rough, but we're gonna touch them up, make sure everything's good to go, make sure it looks semi-decent. After the engine bay is done, we're gonna go ahead and get the motor ready to get painted as well, primed and painted, and get that back in this thing so that we don't have to worry too much more about fabrication. Fab work is all done for the engine bay. All it is just touching it up, making it look pretty, getting the motor back in it, looking decent, putting everything on it, attaching the harness, getting that squared away, and we should be able to drive this thing here soon. Still got a couple parts that I'm waiting on, but it is what it is. We'll make do with what we got. We got the epoxy primer down, did one coat across the whole thing, and then I went over it after it dried with a coat of filler primer to try to fill in some of the light scratches, and then I went ahead and went over it again with some filler primer, and so far it doesn't look too bad. We are going to go over it again after I scuff it up. It is kind of wet, so we're going to let it dry. We're going to go ahead and do some more body work, try to get scratches and some high spots out of it, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn around and do one more coat, a really good coat of primer, and that should be done. Once that's done, we're going to move over to the engine and get that thing cleaned up, painted, and put back in here. I want to try to get this thing together as quickly as possible, but so far engine bay looks pretty good. I'm alright with it for what it is. It is scuffed up, doesn't look the best, but hey, I'm not a body guy. I'm gonna do what I can to make it look good. So as of right now, we're gonna let this coat dry. We're gonna head and scuff it up some more and put another coat on it. Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to get started on getting the mount for the fueltech mounted in this thing. It's not going to be permanent. It's just going to be temporary until I do what I really want to do. But we are going to start making a bracket for this thing. It's hard to see. We're going to do a bracket off of here where a stock location would be for the original cluster. We are going to put the bezel and everything back in there, make it look nice. All the pieces will be in for the dashboard, make it look nice. But we're going to get started on making that bracket. So I already started with making the bracket. As you can see right here, it's going to mount here, and it's going to mount here. I'll put a plate here for this bracket here. It's going to mount to the fueltech, and that'll be in the vicinity of where I want it. So we're going to get to cutting this off here. Old piece of scrap metal that I had laying around. So we're going to cut this off here, and we're going to make sure this is going to be the right length and everything else, and get it mounted up in the car. I made the bracket for the fueltech. I did it off camera. It was kind of just a quick thing. It took me about an hour actually to build this thing, but not too bad. I said mounting points here. I just added these little bars here because it was a little bouncy, and I know the fueltech said that you can't really have it bouncing, so, but overall it does mount pretty well in the car. I'll show you that real quick. So it goes up in here. Goes up like that. It's a little tricky to get in, but once you get it in there, fits perfect. Turn the light on real quick. So it's literally, see if I can get this in the spot. All right. Alright, so that's it. No. So that's it, all mounted in there. The piece can actually go around, the bezel can actually go around that too. I'll probably put a backing to the bezel. There's a bezel that I want to buy. It's a cluster. Basically, it'll replace the actual cluster itself, and it'll put like a 3D printed bezel back there. But for right now, this will do what I need it to do. I don't think I'm going to go too fancy with it. I do want to keep it streetable, but we'll see how it goes. There you have it. Bracket all mounted up. We're gonna sand it up a little bit, give it a nice coat of paint, go mount it in there, and that'll be done. All painted, ready to go. Not too bad. You won't even notice it's in there. So we're gonna get the fueltech over here mounted up. We're gonna get this mounted up on here and get it installed in the car. We got fueltech all mounted in there. Brackets in there, nice. Don't look too bad. You can barely see it. But, has it right here. I'm pretty sure the sun won't affect it too much. So it should be good to go. The fueltech is mounted, and we're gonna move on to something else. I had to let the GoPro charge up a little bit, but managed to get a coat of paint on that bad boy. We're gonna do another coat. We got another coat of primer in the engine bay. We gotta do another coat on the engine and transmission, and then we're gonna do another coat of primer on the engine bed, get that finished. I'm gonna time lapse doing the rest for you, and see you when it's done. There it is, all painted, nice. Obviously I'm going to be changing out the stuff here, so I'm not too worried about painting it. Just didn't have to tape it off, so that's all good to go. The engine bay. All nice and primered. Just to get one more good sanding to get all the little scratches out of it. And then we'll go over it with another thing of primer. And then we will do paint after that, but paint's gonna wait a while. But right now, we're just gonna let this stuff dry. Well, she's all primed up. Good to go. Should get one more sand. And then primer again, and then paint. The paint's gonna wait for a while. Engine's all painted up. Nice. Doesn't look too bad. I don't really care too much about it, but as long as it looks decent. It will be coming back out to get rebuilt. Everything will get blasted and cleaned off, and it'll be basically a brand new engine. But thank you guys for watching. I'll keep as much content going as I can for this thing. We will get this thing out to IFO one way or another. Might not be running, but it will make it out there. Get as much done as I possibly can on it for you guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you feel like keeping up with everything. And I'll see you later.